Turkey launches continuous cross-border attacks into autonomous northeast Syria, targeting infrastructure, displacing and killing civilians. The region's administration, AANES, pleads for international intervention. Doctors' Working Group of Kurd Akkad claim that the conditions in Turkey's Imrali prison, where the leader of the Kurdistan Workers' Party is detained, pose a significant risk to health, and that access to medical care is insufficient. The Council of Europe Commissioner for Human Rights calls on Turkish authorities to put an end to the hostile environment affecting human rights defenders, journalists, NGOs and lawyers, and to stop silencing them by means of administrative and judicial action. Öcalan, leader of Turkey's main opposition Republican People's Party, attempts to downplay a candidate's pledge to exclude the pro-Kurdish Dem Party from the city of Afyonkarahisar. Learn more with Media News. The Democratic Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria has called on the international community to pressurise Turkey to end its occupation of Syria, facilitate the return of the local population to their homes, and preserve civil peace in the region. Turkey's military operations in Syria have resulted in more than 1,000 violations since January 2020, including missile bombardments, drone attacks, and the destruction of civilian infrastructure, the autonomous administration said on Thursday. It accused Turkey of escalating violations and direct attacks on the autonomous northeastern Syrian region over the past 4 years, resulting in catastrophic consequences for millions of Syrians, especially Kurds, as the attacks deprived more than 4 million of basic necessities such as water, electricity and job opportunities. In the same period, more than 180 have been killed under Turkish attacks, including civilians and leaders of the civil and military administration, it said. The administration called on governments and international organisations to form an international committee to investigate the situation in the occupied territories, particularly Afrin, Ras Al Ain and Tel Abyad, assess the impact of Turkish attacks on infrastructure and civilian facilities, and hold perpetrators accountable under international law. The health conditions on the Turkish prison island of Imrali are unacceptable, and the Kurdish leader Abdullah Öcalan, who's detained there, must be immediately released, a report by the Doctors' Working Group of Kurd Akkad has stated. The health risks of detention in near-total isolation have seldom been discussed, according to the civil society group in their new report. They drew attention to the dangerous effects of high climatic humidity on the health of a person in their later years, especially one who spent a quarter of a century in detention. The doctor's report stated that the conditions on the prison island only allow for a few measures to minimise health risks caused by the climate, amid a general lack of access to healthcare, check-ups and medical facilities. The report cites evidence provided by outside monitors based on infrequent visits to the offshore detention centre. The Council of Europe Commissioner for Human Rights has condemned the arrest of scores of Kurdish journalists in her latest memorandum on the media, human rights defenders and civil society in Turkey. The report describes a staggering lack of plurality in the country and widespread violent repression, arrests and abuses targeting peaceful protesters and activists, women's and LGBTQI+ organisations, lawyers and private individuals exercising their right to free speech. The report calls on the Turkish authorities to put an end to the hostile environment affecting human rights defenders, journalists, NGOs and lawyers, and to stop silencing them by means of administrative and judicial action. In conclusion, the Council of Europe Commissioner advocates for a total change of direction, encouraging the Turkish authorities to end these attacks on free expression and democratic activity, and rather engage constructively with civil society, review and revise restrictive laws, free human rights defenders, journalists, activists and others who are imprisoned for exercising their freedom of expression. Ahead of Turkey's 31st of March local elections, the political atmosphere is charged with anti-Kurdish rhetoric, including from the main opposition Republican People's Party, known as the CHP. Burcu Köksal, the CHP's mayoral candidate for the city of Afyonkarahisar, pledged to exclude the pro-Kurdish People's Equality and Democracy Party, or DEM Party, from the municipality. Köksal said, "Once I am elected mayor, the doors of the Afyon municipality will be open to all political parties except the DEM Party."
belediye başkanı olarak seçildiğimde Afyonkarahisar Belediyesi'nin kapıları DEM Parti hariç bütün siyasi partilere açık olacak.
CHP's leader, Öcalan, later claimed that Köksal's statement had been a slip of the tongue and made assurances that the city's services will remain inclusive after the elections. However, a journalist at TV100 reported a conversation with Köksal in which she firmly reiterated her stance against the DEM party and denied any misunderstanding.